Shoulder pain in the snatch or the jerk. Let's get rid of it. This is part 2 of a 2-part series. If you missed part 1, go check it out and catch up. So in our last video, we met with Dr. Richard Ulm, an international instructor for DNS. We learned that often our tight, sore, painful shoulders are coming from an instability. In this video, we're going to look at some steps that we can take if we have that shoulder pain going on, that we can take ourselves out of pain and build up some stability. Let's get into it. To start the work on our own, let's look at mobility. Now in video 1, we mentioned mobility wasn't the overall answer. However, it is an important part. If we have that tight pec or those muscles around the rotator cuff are tightening up, we have to get them to loosen. We have to get them to loosen to let the other muscles that need to help work well. We're going to highlight 3 areas: the ribs, the pec, and the T-spine. Alright guys, here's a stretch for your ribs. Now this one you may have never seen. This was new to me. Dr. Ulm showed it to me, and oh man, what a reaction my body had. So absolutely fantastic. I'm in love with this exercise right now. We're going to get set up with a band overhead, and from this band overhead, we're going to reach our arm over our head as we start to sit away from where we have the band connected. Now in this position, you've probably seen somebody do this stretch. I've seen it before. I actually went to that athlete, one of our athletes who's done it, and asked them if they were thinking about their breathing at all, but they weren't. And then I showed them the breathing component, and they were in love with it. So once we're in this position, we are going to actively try to breathe into the ribs to stretch them apart. You are going to be amazed by the tug that you feel from basically the shoulder down to the hip. And as you breathe in and they stretch apart, as you exhale, you start to sit your butt away from where that band's connected, and you do this for 10 breaths each side. You're gonna be amazed. The pec baseball stretch. Now guys, this is one you've probably seen. Maybe you haven't seen someone in the gym doing it. You're going to find a wall or a piece of a rig so you can put your arm on it. Think about it coming, the upper arm coming straight out from the shoulder 90 degrees, and then the elbow going 90 degrees up. From this position, the opposite leg's going to be slightly forward, and you're going to push your chest forward as you pull your shoulder blades together, driving your chest through. Now you shouldn't feel anything, pain or anything in the shoulder as you do this. You should feel a good strong stretch in the pec. So if you're feeling stuff in your shoulder, see if you can't pull the shoulder down a little bit, get it more neutral, and try again. If you feel more in the shoulder, let's go to a different exercise. We have some up here for you to check out. But again guys, drive that chest forward, pulling those shoulder blades together. This should be all about the pec. Alright guys, let's talk about the T-spine. Now, I know you've seen, and I have a feeling that 90% of you have gotten on a roller, put it in your upper back, and then moved up and down and moved around. One thing that I see a lot of athletes do is they'll squeeze their shoulder blades together. So their erectors and those shoulders muscles kind of bunch up on the roller, and then they smash those muscles on the roller. That's not what we want to do today. What we're looking at is thoracic spine mobility. So we're looking for movement in the joint, not just mashing or, rubbing the muscles around it. So what we want to do is we want to get set up and actually allow ourselves to bend over the roller, trying to extend the thoracic, but not necessarily getting into the lower back. So the roller is only going to be from about mid-scapula to the bottom of the rib cage. We're not going to go any lower because our lower back already has that extension. We can move there. We need to get extension in that upper back. So we're going to stay from that mid-shoulder blade to bottom of the rib cage and work on extending over it, trying to break stuff up in those joints. Now here's the thing, a lot of people give up on this exercise because it doesn't show results very quickly and it's not fun. Stay with this. If you make this an active part of your warm-up, of your cool down, then you give it 2-3 days a week, and over time you will see improvement, and that is the key. Stay with this, guys. Okay, we're opened up. Now the stability piece. Again, this is just scraping the surface. I mean, tip of the iceberg. However, these 3 movements are simple and will get you started. Active hold in bear. Now, what we're looking to do here is we're going to get into the bear position by getting ourselves in I guess you could say hands and knees. We call it quadruped. Your hands are straight underneath your shoulders and your knees are straight underneath your hips. Tuck your toes and then lift yourself up. Now, here's a key aspect. You must drive that thumb and the knuckle of your index finger down into the ground. Keep those active. Don't roll to the outside of your hand where you're more on the heel and the pinky, because what we're trying to get is that serratus to engage. And if we're on the outside of our hand, it's much more difficult for that to engage. So as we lift ourselves up in bear, we're driving our hands, driving that thumb and that index finger. I can't express the need for that enough. Actually show you a little bit here where AJ did this well and then didn't do it well. So we need to drive that into the mat, whatever you're on the floor, and then we need to think about our shoulder blades pulling down and out. So down and towards your sides, not together, and holding this position. You can see the difference in AJ's shoulder blade when he does this correctly. We can do a different count with this. You can go 20-second hold, 10 seconds rest, 20-second hold, 10-second rest. Or if that's too long for you, flip it, 10-second hold, 20-second rest. We need to build it up. It doesn't matter where you start. It matters you do it successfully at the start and you build from that. Active hold and snatch overhead. Now, this is a key component. I'm going to say some stuff that I know a number of gyms probably out there teach, and I mean, take it for what you will. Here's what we teach. We do not teach active shoulders pushing the bar towards the sky. When we do that, we get into those small muscles that attach to the scapula and pull it to the neck. If a number of you are having irritated necks, and shoulder issues, I have a feeling that you're driving those shoulders towards the ceiling when you're doing overhead work, and that is making you unstable. That is not good. What we want to do is we want to let our shoulder blades come down, and again, think about that down and out towards your side motion. We're stretching the bar apart, and now we're set with a good solid shoulder. When you start to add weight, we'd have you on the jerk boxes, again, behind the neck snatch position. You're going to pop it up, and I want you as quickly as you can into that shoulder down and out position, not pushing weight up into the neck, up towards the ceiling, and then letting it down. I want it down and set as quickly as possible, and again, holding for those seconds. All right, guys, our last one is going to be a dip hold. We're set up and we're driving our shoulders down and out, like we've talked about, down and towards the sides, while keeping our shoulders neutral, our head neutral, and we're holding and breathing down into our belly. I want you guys to be in this dip hold and go into a hollow position. To hollow out, hold those shoulders correctly, and again, set it to that second, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, or flip it if that's too challenging, 10 seconds on, 20 seconds off. It doesn't matter where you start, it matters if you do it right. This is a topic we're getting a lot of requests for. Did it help you? Would you be interested getting a more detailed guided plan if I were to create one? Let me know in the comments. If there's interest, we'll see what we can do. We'll see what I can pull together to create. Bring in a Dr. Olm, bring in other specialists. We'll pull something really cool together if there's some interest. But hey, it's just an idea. I hope this video helped you. That was the whole point. Stay out of pain, strengthen it up, and if you need to go see a professional to have them help you out, don't hesitate. Good luck, guys.